Whatever you achieve in your life, whatever you think that is safe, if I achieve that, I feel worthy. It's not going to be as big as the fact that you are in this planet and you were so brave to come here.
Welcome back to Playing with Fire. I know it's been a little while, but finally we're able to get together, and today we're going to talk about change. Why is it so hard for people or for us to change? We all want to do it.
To change?
Is it possible, right? Is it possible to change?
So stay with us. We're going to talk about this and give you some tips and tricks that can help you to transform your life and change.
Huge episode. You don't want to miss this. All right, guys, so since it's been a little while since we've gotten together, let's do a little reintroduction.
That's true.
My name is Homer, and my co-host, Seti, Masa. Which one? Honestly, because...
Okay, actually, I need to clarify this, because Persian people know me as Masa. That's my Persian name. Also, I introduce myself as Seti, because that's also my name. But I prefer, let's stick to the Persian name, because everyone, my followers know me as Masa.
Yeah.
And my brand now called like Masa Noor. And so I prefer from now not using Seti, just Masa. Let's go Masa.
Yep, I completely agree, because today's episode happens to be a very big highlight and a very important episode, because you are an influencer. You are a teacher, and you are honestly doing big things. And
Thank
for
you.
that reason, I've prepared some questions for you, specifically for this episode, on why it's so hard to change and if it's possible. So I hope you're prepared, because I have some questions for you, very deep questions.
Sure.
On how you can help us, how you can give us some insight on if it's possible to change.
Okay, of course.
Are you up for the challenge?
Yes, and just for our audience, the one that they're new here, I'm a life coach, in case they need to know why am I helping people. Who am I? I'm a life coach. I'm also a hypnotherapist, so I do both, and mainly, with my life coaching classes and personal session with some people, I'm helping them to change and make their life better.
Wow.
So I'm ready. Whatever you ask me, I'm always ready.
Awesome. I love it.
Always ready. Yeah.
I love it. I love it, because I have a lot of questions.
Tell me. Yes, of course.
And obviously, I'm going to learn from this, because we all need a little bit of extra help on how to figure this out, how to change.
Many questions. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, question number one. Why do you think people say that they want to change, but deep down something keeps stopping them?
Easy. So
What?
It's easy, because subconscious mind, when you say I want to change, it's your conscious mind, because you want to change, you want something better.
Okay.
You want to quit smoking, you want to do exercise, you want to be richer. So this is all reasonable stuff that your conscious mind wants, because knows that's a better life. But subconscious mind hates unfamiliar and unknown. So when you say I want to change, you're talking with your conscious mind, which is almost 12% of your willpower, mind power, and the 88% of your brain, which is subconscious mind, is like, no, we don't want unfamiliar. Subconscious mind hates unknown. So the reason that you feel that resistance when you want to change, any change, like starting positive thing or just getting rid of some negative behavior that you have, subconscious mind doesn't like it. It doesn't matter if it's killing you, but subconscious mind is like, this is familiar,
Wow.
this is known, and I love known. This is my comfort zone, don't change.
Wow, that was powerful. Did you get that?
And I don't want to discourage you. There are ways to change, but you need to know. You need to be aware.
Yeah, that was a huge key. That means, if I understand that correctly, that stop consciously trying to change, start subconsciously trying to change.
And there are tricks for that, and we're going to talk about it
Wow.
afterward if we had time.
Okay. Question number 2. You talk about how can we get addicted to our emotions? How does that actually happen? And how does it hold us back?
So have you seen some people being miserable?
Yes.
And they are like always in drama, and they're like, oh, always like everyone hates me and no one loves me. Oh, it's their fault. It's my parents' fault. It's their fault.
Yep.
So I'm not telling that they're being unreasonable. They have reasons to feel that way, but they're just kind of like sticking to those reasons instead of like saying the word differently. When we think a thought, any thought, like let's say painful thought about like I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, and I'm not worthy, this thought in our brain release a chemical, and these chemicals in our body create a feeling. So the thought become this feeling. And actually, that's when we say thought become a matter, as this idea become a chemical, and the chemical release in our body create this feeling of, I feel bad, and I feel bad about myself. And then feeling bad about yourself, brain was like, oh, the body feels bad. It might be something wrong. Yeah, something's wrong with me. I'm not worthy. So you create this more thoughts, painful thoughts, sad thoughts, and the more sad thoughts you have, more chemical release, and then you create this loop, and you are stuck in the loop, but you're enjoying this misery.
That's crazy.
So you don't want to get out of this misery, because this is your known. This is I'm suffering, but this is my misery, and I want it. I don't want those stuff that you say you can be happy, but I'm not familiar with happiness, and I don't know. I don't like unknown, as I said before. So I stay in my misery because it's familiar.
That's crazy. I am literally capturing everything you just said, and it makes so much sense. That's like an addict. An addict knows he's an addict. He knows he's hurting himself. He knows he's dying, but he doesn't want to stop being an addict.
Because he feels good when feeling bad.
Yeah,
because it's familiar, and it's with any addiction. It can be, you can be addicted to cigarettes, or alcohol, or drugs, or you can be addicted to this chemical that your brain makes, like a sadness. And this is we have it the other way around. Some people with they are experiencing like body jumping, like whatever, jumping from the plane. So they want more. Because the body is addicted to that feeling, the chemical that when you jump from the plane. So they want more and more and more. So
it's the same pattern. Wow.
It's the same.
And we just don't realize that. And one last thing that I captured from that is so powerful. Our thoughts are not just thoughts, they're physical manifestations. Like it turns into a physical experience.
And it's interesting. People say like thought cannot create something. It creates, like you have a thought, the chemical release, and then your body feels something. That's the result of you manifested something from your thought. The first manifestation, feeling horrible or feeling good. We have this for some people that they don't understand this and want to just resist, like, no, it's not matter. You can feel like, think of a sexual thought, and the chemical that release change your body, the way you feel. Or you can feel fearful or scared, like thinking about something that might happen, and your body starts shaking about just a thought. You're not sure, like you hear something, and it was like, oh, maybe someone break in my house, and then you start like your heart start like pumping differently.
Physical manifestation.
So that's a first sign. And then some people say that doesn't work that way, and it works.
Absolutely. So as you are listening to our conversation, you have now realized the powerful depth of these questions. So pay attention, because this is really powerful stuff. Question number 3. You often say that the body can take over the mind. Can you explain what that means and why it makes changing hard?
I love this. Many people like Dr. Joe Dispenza talk about that. And this is something like our subconscious mind, the way subconscious mind works. How body takes over like the mind and start becoming a mind. And I will give you examples so you understand, and then you can just apply it in your life. So, you remember the first time you start driving? Yes. And you didn't know how to drive, and they taught you, like you knew the theory, but you didn't know how to drive. The body didn't know how to drive.
That's right.
So you were like, what should I do? How should I, like you were trying to use your body to drive. But then after like 100 times driving, now your body is taking over when you're driving, and you don't think about it. Body knows how to drive, like the way that we know how to walk. The first time you stand up and fall, but now do you think about the muscles? I need to tense this muscle. No, you don't. You just walk. Yeah. The body took over and say, okay, I mastered it. You go and learn something else. And about driving, that's the time that body becomes mind, which is a good thing in those kind of things, like walking. We don't want to think about walking every time. Okay, I need to move this leg and the other leg. So, but the problem begins when the body learns to become mind and when we're suffering. Like, I'm not enough, experiencing like whenever we want to start something new, it's like, you're not enough. And then your heart start pumping. Okay, I'm not going to start. I'm going to start. Just stay here. This is my familiar. So that's body controlling you again, because body learned not to start new things because it's scary. And the body is taking over the mind. And the mind wants to change. You told me, I want to do this, I want to do that. But the body is stopping you because body wants to stay in a way that is comfortable and learned. So, but you can get rid of that. I can tell you if you want at the end of the video.
Absolutely. So it sounds like your body becomes an automatic thing, and your body just does it automatic. Even if your mind is trying to change, your body's already used to it.
Body does the same thing. Yeah.
Have and that's why it's hard.
Yeah, we do things that like typing and things the bodies does.
Second
texting.
Nature.
Yeah, it's as you say, it's your second nature.
Wow. So,
but we have in a certain times that we don't want this. Body takes over when we want to take initiative and do things that we want to change. That's the time that it causes trouble.
Seriously, no bullshit. Everything that you're telling me right now, I'm learning, and you're giving me a really clear picture. It's making so much sense. So I'm gonna like watch this after, like not right after, but I'm gonna rewatch this episode to capture everything that I may not be capturing, because you're really giving a real clear picture. It's making so much sense.
Thank you.
So I hope that it's making sense to you guys. Replay it if you have to, because this is really clear, deep thoughts into how we work and why it's difficult to change. So maybe after this, it may not be as hard. So question number 4. Why is it so uncomfortable for people to step into a new version of themselves, even when they're unhappy with their current life?
You know, it's kind of like, I feel like we cover these questions because it's about change again, unfamiliar. When we want to, somebody like say addicted to smoking, say I want to change, I smell bad, I go to work and I'm losing opportunities, job opportunities, like relationships, and I want to change for that. There are good reasons for that. I want to get a job that if I smoke there, they're not going to get anything. And then you say that I want to do that, but it's uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. And just a small trick for you with the bad habits like smoking things. We have something in like psychology and hypnotherapy that they talk about it is instead of quitting like a smoking or anything, a habit, instead of like changing, like removing habit, you need to replace habits. You don't want to change, remove something from your life. It's going to be so hard because like a child, like having a, what they call a pacifier.
Yeah.
When you take it, they start sucking on the finger.
Yeah.
So we don't want to, we don't want to do that. So we are kind of like prepare them for that. So if you take something very intensely from somebody, they're gonna create something new, which is usually harmful. So if you want to change a habit like eating or smoking, you need to find a way to replace that because that's your coping mechanism. That's something that you use to feel comfortable. If it's sugar, if it's smoking, anything it is. And instead of hating yourself because you're like this, you need to understand that I'm just using this because I feel good with that. There's a good intention. I want to feel good. And then how else can I feel good?
Yeah.
And find another way. And when you find that, you can replace it instead of just removing this. I need to stop smoking from now. Just see if you can add something new that replace that smoking things. That's the reason while we want to step in this new personality, we don't know how to do it. Nobody taught us. So people don't know. They just hate themselves because they're smoking. Let's say we're using this example.
Sure.
They just hate themselves and then they don't understand it's difficult to change. It is okay that it is difficult.
Yeah.
And first you need to accept this and then understand how your mind works. Instead of fighting yourself, understanding that you need to replace the coping mechanism instead of just removing it. And then that would be much, much easier to change.
Wow.
And also something else that you don't want to change very fast because subconscious might hate that. So it's better to just like, I want to work out like very casually, like twice a week, half an hour, and then you can do 1 hour, but just say a half an hour. And subconscious is like, okay, sure. I swear it's like that. Okay.
That's so awesome. Wow. Okay. Let me see. How does imagining your future self or meditating on the life you want to actually live help you change your current life?
Okay, that's a very good question, actually. So, many people think like if I sit and just imagine that my life, nothing is gonna change. What is like with imagination? This is just a
Yeah.
fantasy. This is not the real world, and some people think that doesn't work. But I just want to tell you how it works. So imagine if someone was born in a very poor family, poor neighborhood. I'm talking. The example is money, and making money. You can
Okay.
use any other example like health, relationship. So the person was born in a very poor family, and have no idea how to make money. And then one day he comes to his parents and say, I want to be a very rich millionaire. Everyone started laughing at him, like we don't have resources, we don't have money to invest, we don't have money to learn. You can't go to college, you don't have degree. Just stop being delusional.
Yeah.
So how this person is gonna, if he believes this, is he going to act different than his parents? No, because he believes there's no possibility. He starts following the pattern that they believe. So if we take this person out and ask him like secretly, let's start imagining the life that you can experience being rich. Just imagine it. Just think about the idea of being rich. How does it feel like? How your body feel if you're rich? How your mind see? What you see? How do you feel? And teach your body. This is called from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Teach your body emotionally. How does that future feels like? And this guy is tell his parents, okay, I'm not gonna do anything. Yeah, I'm not stupid. But he goes secretly and start imagining, daydreaming, not even meditating, daydreaming about the possibility of being rich. And he keeps doing that every day and every day. As he does that, and then his brain start creating this picture of a wealthy life. And then he looks at his life. It doesn't match that. This is the part that some people who are disagree with manifestation doesn't understand. Is if you leave it here, yeah, this is delusion. But then he was like, I want this. I saw it in my mind. My parents say it's not possible, but I can feel it. My body feels it. And is he going to act differently? He's going to act differently.
Yeah.
He's, even if nobody believes in him, he's gonna go try to find a way to make more money. He's gonna apply to jobs. He's gonna go learn from YouTube videos and how to make money. He's gonna act differently because he changed something in his mind about the possibilities, different than his parents and his people. And then all of a sudden he started making different decisions, and the different decision comes different outcomes, and he kind of get out of that poor
pattern.
Yeah, and then he get out, and people say, he was lucky. It's not a luck. Something changed in his mind that changed his personality. When you change your personality, you can change your personal reality. That's a reality. And
wow.
So, yeah, of course, if you're a rich person, you were born in a rich family, you don't need to do that. Your pattern is, you believe
there, yeah.
But I'm talking about you need to start the idea. If you give someone hope that there is hope to change, some people, they don't have anybody to give them this hope. So this hope comes from that picture, that fantasy, like, oh my God, I can live this life.
That makes so much
Maybe
sense.
you're thinking about being a millionaire, but even if you don't become like a millionaire, you can get out of that, like the situation you're in. You can improve your life in any area, like money, relationship. So it starts from those imagination, those meditations, I love meditations, guided meditations, when it gives you room to just think about your future.
Makes perfect sense. That pushes you to start making different choices and to believe.
Exactly.
And that leads you in another path. So, see? Wow.
So you see, the thought starts. You need to start with the thought. It
doesn't work.
Yeah, some people's like, oh, they're going to get lazy. Just think about it. No, don't worry. If they don't think about it, they're going to be like, there's no opportunity in the world.
Yeah.
The only way to make money is to be a thief or just begging for money. But when they start thinking and seeing themselves as a CEO or as a business owner, and then they start how can I create this image in my physical life?
That becomes a propellant, like a rocket. It's the energy that burns to push. That becomes the push for them to want and to try different things and to go figure things out versus not. Wow. I'm telling you, I'm getting this. Wow. Awesome. Okay. Next question. What are some common hidden blocks you see in people who say they want to change but feel stuck?
I think most probably the lack of self-love. So better to say like feeling unworthy. This is something that stops you from changing, because if you think I'm not enough, and you think that I'm not worthy, or I'm not whatever, I'm not enough, that what is due in your body is when there is a opportunity in their life, that there are a lot, you would be like, it stops you. It's like, don't go. They're not going to accept you. Don't say it. Don't. And it's not just the positive things that you lose, like opportunities that you lose. That's half of it, because there are opportunities, and then you don't go because you don't feel you deserve it. You're scared, and anytime there is a chance for you, you're not going to go for it because you talk yourself out of this. Don't do it. Don't, because you don't want to hear that people also confirm that you're not worthy by saying no to you. And you also consider no as like, they say you're not worthy. And we have the other side of it. It's the negative things. When you don't love yourself, people can use you and abuse you because you can't say no. Because you say, if I say no to this thing that I don't want to do, what is my worth? They're going to leave me alone because I am not worthy. The only thing that I'm good for is that when they use me, like emotionally using me, anything. And usually people with the low self-love, they are like, they can't say no to people. So their time, instead of putting their energy on their life, they're putting their energy for other people. So kind of like keeping people with the service they're providing to people. And I think this is one of the blocks that if you start loving yourself, everything changes, because you feel like I'm worthy. When then there is opportunity to go for that interview, you will like, I'm gonna go. And the brain is like, subconscious is like, what if they say no? It's okay, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go. It's experience. I will get experience. That is the mentality of person with the self-love. But the person with a very low self-esteem and self-love, they would be like, no, if they say no, it means I'm unworthy. And you already feel unworthy. It doesn't matter, just go. They don't want to do that. So the biggest thing, if I want to teach people just one thing, is I will teach them how to love themselves. And if they love themselves, they will move the mountains. They don't need me. Just teach them to love themselves. They will change the world. This is honestly the key. And in my classes, I have like a general class with people, like 50 people per month. And they keep asking me, like, create something advanced. And I thought about it for months. And I finally decided self-love. Self-love is something that you need to put more energy on it. So if you learn that, you need to learn the last step is self-love, to love yourself enough to do the things that can help you change your life.
And can I add that what that means is that everybody in the world, every single human being, regardless of what kind of life they're living, where they were born, it does, like, every single human being on earth today is worth it.
Everyone is there. The fact you're in this planet, because people think they're kind of their value, the thing is with what they created in their life, what they manifested, or whatever they have. And the fact is, I loved something from Bashar. If you know Bashar, you know. Somebody asked him, like, he feels unworthy, and he said, whatever you achieve in your life, whatever you think that is, if I achieve that, I feel worthy, it's not going to be as big as the fact that you are in this planet and you were so brave to come here. That's your bigger achievement. Whatever you do, it's okay, but it's not as that big. So, and that the fact that you're in this planet, it's
already here.
It is difficult planet, and Dollars Cannon say that the Earth is a mastery planet. You come here for mastery level, like to learn. It's a last level.
I can't wait to master.
Yeah. So the fact we came here is like, it means we were very advanced souls. And so there's nothing more difficult than being in Earth. Because imagine a planet without physical body. You don't need to eat. You don't need cars. You don't need house. You don't.
None of these challenges.
You don't need even money. You can just fly wherever you want. The life is easy. But the physical body, it's difficult. So the fact you're here and you're struggling. Some people struggle more with some disease. It means you're a very advanced soul, and you're here to take all that pain and learn from it and just get. It doesn't mean if you were born with like a disease or pain, you need to stay in that. You can learn. You can change, and you don't need, if you understood what this pain has for me, and you get it and you change, you don't need to have it anymore longer, because you got the lesson. You learned the lesson, you just pass that lesson.
So powerful, so powerful. I'm mesmerized. So you're worth it, even if you don't believe it, you are. And
Be loved.
the idea is to change that and to convince yourself that you are, because you are, regardless. Even if you don't believe it now, you are. So you might as well change that because you are.
You are. You're lovely, and you're lovely.
All right. So you often talk about heart and brain working together. How does that help someone make real change?
Heart and brain. Yeah. So, when we are actually, that's the idea. I think I heard it first time from again Dr. Joe Dispenza, like a coherent heart and brain. I think he talks about it in his meditations. It's when your thoughts with the feelings like align, and you feel whole. And honestly, it takes time to do this. But what was the last of your question? Sorry, I just want to know what is about heart and brain.
So what I wrote was, you often talk about heart and brain working together. How does that help someone make real change? So how does the heart and the brain working together make someone change?
So let's say you have a thought to change anything, any change, to improve. It doesn't mean you're horrible. You want to change. It's I want to get better in anything, and that's the first thought. And your brain, subconscious doesn't believe in it. It's like, we don't need it. And then and the heart is like also not aligned with this idea. The feeling is not aligned with this idea. But as soon as you can align those things, first is believing in the thought that what? First, I need to tell you how a belief is created. Okay. Repeating a thought. That's it. If you repeat a thought over and over, what happened in your brain is their neurons start fire together. The neuron cells that fires together, wires together, and create this bridge, which when we scan it, you can see that change in your brain. It's a physical change.
Again, but I just need to write that. Repeat.
I'm gonna try to find a video for you and put it here. It's so interesting when you learn something, when you repeat something, like even in new language, those neurons is like creating this bridge, and that's change is physical. You can see it in the brain. So when you repeat that enough, what is the repetition? It's just like, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, or I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. No, it's not like that. You can say that. This is like the affirmation. It's good. It's not honestly bad. It's very good. Some people use it. But also you can do that with your act. I'm worthy, I'm worthy. You think you're unworthy and want to create something new, like to make you believe you're worthy. And then with your action, those those people who make you feel bad always, hey, they want to go out, they always make fun of you. But you're afraid to be alone. So you say, okay, but you go there and being humiliated by those people and say, I prefer to be alone. It's better to be alone to be with these people. So no, when you say no, those neurons start like, oh, he believes he's worthy. He thinks he's even alone, he's worthy. And those actions, it's not just words. Also, so it's actions.
Acting accordingly.
Exactly. And then, so it starts with the thought, and then the word change, stopping those negative things you tell yourself, negative self-talks, and all this together, if you repeat it enough, you create a new belief in your mind that I'm worthy, and then you feel amazing about yourself, even if you're alone. I feel great, and the heart and mind is aligned and coherent. And when they are coherent, in that point, you can just do anything.
Wow!
You can do anything.
You are breaking it down so easy to understand.
Thank you.
So awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know you guys are understanding and take advantage of that, because this is by far my favorite episode that we've done, because I'm learning so much.
Thank you.
I really am. You're doing.
This. What you say in my Persian YouTube channel, and usually people say this to me. So the way you explain it is so easy to understand.
Yeah.
And I feel like I learned them. Like I learned those. I read a lot of books, and then I felt like some people would be like confused with these big words. How can I explain this to my mother? How can I explain this to my grandma? Yep. That they understand. I'm not saying you're my mom or grandma, but they were older and they couldn't understand what I'm saying. So I made everything simple. But then everyone feel connected because this is everyday language.
Yeah.
We don't want to. I don't say those. I love those people who are very scientific and using those words. I love it. But I try to make it simple. So
if I'm understanding it, I know you're understanding it, and that's the point, and which is awesome.
Thank you.
So okay. Next question. We're almost towards the end, but a few more. Why do people sometimes fall back into their old patterns or habits even after they've had breakthrough, like a breakthrough moment, like even if they've already gone to,
Yeah.
they've grown or they've gone to that breakthrough, why do sometimes people fall back again?
So you didn't get far enough. So to be honest, you didn't get far enough. Can be one of the reason.
Oh,
For this question, honestly, I need to work with the cases to see what is wrong with this person. What happened to you?
specifically,
Why did you get back? Because it's different in different people. Some people didn't get far enough. Because imagine you are in a place that there's no water, there's dirty water. I need to look for water, and you start walking in the desert, and then you start feeling thirsty and feeling alone and burned, and it was like, I'm gonna go back. That's at least familiar. There's a dirty water there to drink, so some people do that. So in order to change, you need to sustain that change. Sometimes, have you heard of that thing that say, a myth that they say 21 days you change if you do the
Yeah.
habit? It's not 21 days. They say that one of the people that they believe in, it says 90 days, like 3 months. So I believe even sometimes, so for some people it's 1 year. So if you want to change or create a new habit, maybe it takes longer and you need to stay in that change. But also remember, anytime a problem comes up and like obstacle, you would be like, let's go back to my mommy and my
Yeah.
familiar, like or whatever, that savor. Like, and now I feel so excited. I actually, since I'm an immigrant, I met some people who travel. They try to get the US visa for 3 years. They learned English for 2 years, and then they got to college and they come here university, and it's like, it's so hard, I want to go back. And they tell me, I want to 5 years you try to get here, and now you're telling me it's so hard, I want to go back. Why is it? You knew it's hard, you came for that dream, but now it's so hard to move on. Maybe there's one more year just to go. But some of them, oh, I can't do it, and then I'm here for them to stop them from doing something stupid. It was like, no,
Don't do it.
Yeah, it's painful, and
Yeah.
you're gonna enjoy this pain because you're going to learn. So that's it. So they start feeling the pain of being in unfamiliar. And there's like a few days ago, a guy talked to me in my Instagram. He was like, it's so painful. When I was in Iran, my family's friends, everyone was nice to me. And I'm here, some horrible people. I met some horrible people. They're lawyer. They told me this and they told me that. And he was shocked with this reality that he's experiencing. And I don't know the language. And he already got to the word he wanted. But he needs a little bit more time to become someone who wants to become in that word. And that takes time, and some people cannot wait. So they go back. That's the reason.
Wow. Wow. So powerful. And I completely understand. So hang in there. Hang in there.
Yeah, you didn't get far enough, because you get far enough, you can't go back. I can't go back to my past life. I feel that was a different person. There's no room. There's no all the things that I left behind are gone. I can't go back. But sometimes you didn't get far enough, so there's a way to go back. That's the time people think about going back.
So stick with it.
And it applies for alcoholics and drug addicts, everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be just improvement. Sometimes quitting things.
Wow. Okay. Next question. If someone feels like they're doing everything right, but nothing's shifting, it's not working, what might be happening under the surface that they're not seeing?
Yeah, okay. So again, we can go with cases. We need to see people and see what's wrong with a specific person. But if they're doing the work, but you say they didn't see the change, right? So they're trying, but they're not change. They're not seeing change. It can be because. So first, remember how change happens. So I'm going to give you a simple formula. So your personality creates your personal reality. Everyone knows now. So what is your personality? Is a bunch of beliefs about yourself. I'm worthy. I'm not worthy. I'm good. I'm not. I'm good. I'm scared. I'm scared of this situation. I love this situation. I love this food. I hate that food. I like women. I like men. All this is your personality. And that personality makes some decisions, and that the outcome is your life. So you're telling me why some people are doing things, but the outcome is not changing. So the first thing we need to change is the personality. So you need to tell me, if the question was like, I changed my personality, but my personality reality didn't change, I would be like, it's impossible. But you're telling me nothing changed, so you didn't still change your personality. Because if you did change your personality, you would tell me that. So you're telling me I'm trying, but nothing changed. You understand what I mean?
Yes,
So I want
100%.
to see the first change, which is like, you know what? I'm trying, and I feel change in me. I feel my personality change. I'm wondering when the personal reality is gonna change. You understand what I
Yeah,
mean?
100%.
So that's the problem. So first change your personality. I change those belief system about yourself. Whether I'm worthy or not worthy. If you're not worthy, nothing is gonna change. So people, if somebody come to me and say, I tried everything, nothing changed. I was like, wait, the things that you tried, did it make you and help you to change your personality? No. So why do you want? How do you think the personal creation of personal reality happens? You need to be a different person, because
Yeah.
that lazy person who didn't do anything doesn't manifest or create something new. And then so you didn't do the first step, and you're waiting for outcome. Forget about the outcome. Just stop and say, I need to change my pattern. There's no way that you change your personality and the personal reality doesn't change. It always change. Question is, if you start working out 4 days a week for a year, is it possible that nothing changed in your body?
No, of
There is
course.
no
Yeah,
way. If you
no.
cut sugar, is it possible that nothing changed after a year?
No.
So
of
things
course
change. If you start learning a skill, like any skills, and then start acting on it, like creating things and trying to networking and selling, is it possible that you tell me I'm the same person with the last year?
not. No.
So the
impossible.
fact is you didn't change yet. That's why nothing outside. People are obsessed with outside world. When am I gonna manifest that person? When am I gonna manifest money? Stop manifest. Just stop it. Just stop manifesting. Just wait. Let's change you.
Start by actually changing yourself.
And the new
as a
you
person.
is gonna manifest everything you
Automatically.
need. This is.
Automatically, yeah.
Yeah.
Without even you trying at that point, it's just an automatic result.
Don't get
This
excited.
is
I'm
what-
getting so excited.
Yeah,
For
this
change.
Is, this is what I'm understanding. So, from now on, if you may, occasionally point out in me my personality and say, and just notice, like, oh, I've noticed there's been some changes, positive changes, or even if they're negative changes.
Yeah.
Mention it to me so that I can also kind of keep track.
You need to pay me for that. People pay me for that. No,
Yeah,
I'm
I
kidding.
do pay you.
Yeah.
I pay.
No,
I pay.
no, you're my friend. I can do that for you.
And,
But
and-
remember, when
Uh-huh.
you're a very famous actor, you
Yes.
tell them, say, Massa is my life coach.
Absolutely,
Swear.
100%. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 100%. It's recorded.
Witnesses, yeah.
Yeah. So if you can do that, so that I can also have that guide of knowing, because I am working on changing my personality, and it helps when someone on the outside says, yeah, I see the change, or no, I'm not seeing no change. So that's a reminder that so that this doesn't happen, so that we know that we're actually really putting effort into change and not half-assing and pretending like, well, I kind of wanted to change and I don't see change, because you're not actually changing.
Exactly.
So
Change
I
it.
want to change. I want to continue to change and to grow. And
I'm going to work with you.
yeah, I've been seeing some changes, so I want to continue seeing more changes.
Yeah. We can also use hypnotherapy to actually boost that if you want.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Sure.
All right.
Any more questions?
Actually, as a matter of fact, we have one bonus question. This is a really good question. I got this out of our viewer comments. One of our viewers named Sara B, we'll just say B for now. But Sara B had a very cool question. She says, from one of our followers, she says, give me one good reason to forgive my parents, because honestly, I feel they don't deserve it.
Oh, ooh, forgiveness. I love this topic. This is one of the topic in my class, forgiveness. And this
Really?
is very important. I just want to say something. I always thought if you don't forgive, you can't move on and you can manifest because you don't have whole power. But one of my teacher told me, even if they cannot forgive, but just if they can just move on, let go of that feeling of anger, that works too. But let me tell you, give you a very good reason why to forgive, even if they don't deserve it. So let's say your parents are very horrible people, the worst parents in the world, like some people are, why not? And they did horrible things to you. They like told you you're unworthy. They did anything, like whatever you think of. And now in your adulthood, in this age, now you're struggling with anything that it's a consequence of what they did or they did not do. So it's difficult when you see the result of their action in your life and just letting go. Because some people say, yeah, my father was horrible, but I'm a successful, happy person now and I don't care. So it's easy when you're happy and you're successful and you have everything. But some people are struggling and they believe this is because of them. The one, it doesn't need to be parents, anyone who did anything wrong to them. So I'm giving you a reason to forgive. And the reason is, I'm just going to make it again simple. Imagine we have 100 units of energy.
Mm-hmm.
We can say 1,000. Let's say 100, just for the sake of simplicity.
Yeah.
So keep it simple. 100 unit of energy. Energy, where attention goes, energy flows. So if you think about the past, what happened to you, why did they do that, and feeling like they didn't love me and they were horrible people all the day, and start like a chemical coming to your body, feeling horrible and hating them more. And some people tell the parents that you are bad parents, and this is taking 30, let's say, units of your energy.
Wow.
And then you have also other thoughts about future, thinking about the like worst case scenario that can happen in any situation. You want to start a business. What if nobody's gonna come and buy my products or service? And then feeling anxiety for future. I'm not worthy, and it's like 20 units there. And then daily things. My friend said that. My boyfriend did that. Oh, there's a news, and let's say 10 for this. And let's say this is 60 units of your 100 units energy. And then you're here with 40 units of your energy and trying to create the life you want. And I'm sure you want something. You want to become successful, richer, happier, healthier, whatever you want. And then you're wondering why it doesn't happen, because you don't have your full energy. The energy is in the past and in the future that you don't want to. I wish that it was in your future that you're dreaming of, but you're putting it in a future that you hate. And the worst case scenario. So then you say, first of all, I'm planning. It's like for things to do daily, and I can't do it because you have 40%. And I'm very honestly optimistic. I'm saying for you, maybe 10% of your energy. My mom was one of those people that she had 5% of her energy. 95 was in the past. And like 1 was in the future, 4 was here. Yikes. So you can do that to yourself. And then wondering, why can't I change my life? And it was their fault. This is their fault. Of course they're horrible. I'm not going to say, no, forgive your parents, they're nice. No, they're not nice. I'm assuming they're horrible. But if you love that future you want to create enough, if you love yourself enough and you think you deserve the life you want, you need to move on. It doesn't need to, don't need to forget what they did. You can just, the only thing you need to do is taking that emotional charge from those memories. And the emotional, when you remove the emotional, again, from Dr. Joe Dispenza, I don't like to say people's words without mentioning their names. Dr. Joe Dispenza says always that when you take, and he's not the first person saying that, but I remember from him, when you take the emotional charge from the memories, what remains is wisdom.
Wow.
Knowing, being wise in this planet. So this was mine. I add the last one. So what you do is when you remember what they did to you, but it's like, I don't feel anything because I need that feeling and energy to create what I want and put that 100% in my dream, which is dream body, dream job, dream partner, dream, I don't know, whatever you want to create.
Life,
yeah. So if you are just that, if it's not enough reason, and if you think they're so horrible and they're very bad people, and you need to punish them by punishing yourself, do it.
That's what you're already doing.
Yeah, this is what you're doing. But you deserve better. You deserve that happy life you want. So what you need to do is just say, not tell them. Don't tell them. Just in your mind, just like, maybe they're not even, some people are like waiting for a day that they come to you and say, I'm sorry. Believe me, it's not going to help even. But even like some people push their parents to say sorry. But that's not that's not going to help you, honestly. I saw people that say, my parents say we're sorry, but it doesn't change anything. Because it's your perception that doesn't change. So you need to change. And say, okay, they did that, they're horrible, they're not worthy of my forgiveness, but I'm worthy of the life I want to create, and I need my 100% energy, and claim your energy back to your body and create what you want because you deserve it. That's it.
There you go. So stop wasting your energy where it's not giving you any use. It's not benefiting you. Wow. See, again, you explain that so easily, and I understand that. So I relate to this question 50%. So I'm going to reevaluate my own energy and I'm going to reclaim that. Absolutely.
Use the self-talk, one of the very good techniques instead of like imagination and daydreaming and meditation, all this is good. One of the things that help me tools is my self-talk. And my brain goes like, your dad, your mom said, oh, wait, it's in the past. I don't want to send my energy in the past. I understand and I just let it go. I forgive them. And believe me, forgiveness is not something that you can do it in one session. Sometimes you say, actually, I feel good. I think I forgave them. And then after 1 week, you're struggling with something else that again related to what they done. And then you remember, it was like, wow, how could they do that to me? So it comes back. So it's a process and you might be struggling with it throughout your life. But it's worth it because even when you claim back 5% of your energy, your life, physical life, get 5% better.
Wow. Yeah, gradually. So yeah, I'm very lucky to have my mom, and for me, I'm gonna reevaluate and regain my energy on my dad's side. But just like you said, we can do that. Thank you so much for answering these questions, for having so much clarity. And you guys are going to benefit so much from watching the show. Can we do this again with more questions in the future?
If you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section. Maybe we can do it in another video. Just answering your questions, any question you have.
So now you have an idea, based on these questions, what other questions might have come up for you? If you want those questions specifically answered, put them in the comments. She'll answer them.
Yes.
Good stuff. Very good information. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see you later. Have a good day or night.
Or both.